All right, well, thanks everybody for joining us here today. Good afternoon, and thank you for being here as we recognize entertainment mogul and philanthropist Percy Miller, otherwise known as Master P. Thank you very much. Okay. Interesting story with Master P. His family sought refuge here in Louisville following the devastating hurricane in his hometown, New Orleans, back in late 2005, and that was, everybody will remember, just a horrific time for the country and especially the people of New Orleans. It was hard to see what Mother Nature wrought on the Big Easy down there, and of course we've seen it most recently just several weeks ago in Southwest Florida as well. But that event ended up being a good thing for our city because Master P really has reflected how our community here in Louisville, our compassionate community, has made such a difference in his life and his family's life, and he made a commitment to give back to us in any possible way that he could. Of course, he's been doing that. For more than a decade now, Master P has worked closely with one of our city's great partners and my friend, a great citizen, Christopher 2X, to make our city a safer and more peaceful place for everybody, especially young people. And Chris 2X and I go back quite some way.
Time ago.
Before he was Christopher 2X,
right.
As a matter of fact. So we've had a long track record and good times working together, and it's always been about helping people and lifting people up. That's what Master P is about. He's donated time and resources to young people to inspire them, to keep them on the right track. I recall one time Master P was scheduled to talk to some of our youth at our Youth Correctional Institute, and that was in the winter. Mother Nature had other plans. It was not cooperating with getting him here to Louisville, so as being the great entrepreneur that he was, he said, there's got to be a way. And for those of us that are afflicted with keeping commitments and not letting people down, he says, we're going to get to Louisville. So he flew to Cincinnati, could get in there, took a taxi down here, met his commitment to the kids. That's when you learn a lot about somebody's character. Then when the pandemic hit, he also asked that question himself, how can I help the citizens of Louisville, the kids of Louisville? He donated thousands of masks to Chris 2X's Game Changers that were given to school children in need at the Chestnut Street Y. They've done a lot of work out of the Chestnut Street Y. We really appreciate them. And he donated Christmas gifts to Louisville families in need. Master P, when Chris was talking about his Future Healers program, of course said, how can I get involved? He got involved as a special advisor with a focus on the partnership as it relates to the U of L Health and U of L School of Health. Recognize all those good folks with us here today. And through this work, he engages with children in the program who've experienced trauma, along with parents and community partners to offer support and encouragement to the entire family. And of course, we all know our country right now is recognizing mental health challenges like we never have before. 2 weeks ago, a national survey, 70% of Americans recognize mental health as a serious challenge for our country. So it's important. We've got leaders that are stepping up and talking about trauma, talking about mental health, so there's no stigma to these type of issues and helping up and stepping up. And then along with 2X, the 5-time Grammy Award winner recently brought smiles to the Louisville Zoo when he paid a surprise visit to encourage members of the Future Healers Got Zoo Buddies program. I want to recognize Steve and Dan back here from the zoo for their great partnership with 2X and Master P as well. Thank you guys very much. And Master P and his son Hersey, who is with the University of Louisville basketball team, even hosted a birthday party for Ocean Robertson, a 2-year-old gunshot survivor at the zoo. And I want to remind everybody that tonight is Louisville Live. And do we have any Cardinal fans in the house? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Master P, I put on a special pair of shoes for you.
We got to give it up to Greg on that one.
I was thinking about, I couldn't make a decision whether to swag these out for U of L Cardinals or No Limit.
Yeah.
And I'm the mayor of Louisville, not No Limit, so I went for the Cardinals, brother.
Yes.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right. All right. So Master P knows as a society that we got to work together. Everybody. create the conditions necessary for public safety in every neighborhood. Bishop Lyons, you've been doing that for years. Thank you. Our Office for Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods is here. Let's give it up for Ocean over here. Thank you all very much as well. We can do this, and we're making good progress as a community in reducing violence, gun violence in our community, but it takes all of us to do that, so we really appreciate any of that. So critical to the success of any violence reduction effort is ensuring community voice and ownership in the development of solutions. And the trauma healing and violence prevention work done by 2X, Master P, all of our partners here, is another great example of how we do this work together. And it's working, as I mentioned. We've seen a 32% reduction in non-fatal shootings, about a 10% reduction in homicides so far this year. Our GVI efforts are really picking up, so we're making progress. Anytime we got a big problems like this, folks, wouldn't it be nice if you could just snap your fingers and it went away? But what I've learned in 12 years is you do it one act at a time. Helping people, having that conversation, having that tough conversation sometimes, and it all adds up. So I really want to thank you all for being part of this. Now, before I present the key to the city to Master P, let's hear from some others in the community who've worked closely with Master P. First up, Christopher 2X. Chris?
Mayor, thanks a lot, and especially everybody that's came out to support him today. I mean, this could have been a huge, huge crowd, but we wanted to keep it private, and you know, it's meaningful. But to you, my friend, Percy Robert Miller, entertainment mogul, Master P, or whatever you want to coin him as, you know, the person that we've grown to know over time, 2 decades plus, going on almost 30 years, right, publicly. It's all about the children, simple as that. So today, like the mayor had already acknowledged, we've got community partners here who play an important role in regards to children and those who have admired your stamina as it relates to coming into Louisville consistently. When the mayor and I talked about him unfolding this very special ceremony for Master P, we talked about consistency, something Master P talks about, consistency. And we thought about many celebrities who have came into Metro Louisville, especially under the mayor's reign for 12 years now. And nobody fits the billing like Master P, to be quite frank with you all. Before the pandemic, his trips here were at the highest point at 8 times a year, 5 times a year, 6 times a year, and even since the pandemic, he's starting to, you know, just come redundantly to be here for families and kids. And the best thing he likes to at least try to hopefully impact them with is a whole idea of how education saves lives. And so I would like to reiterate what the mayor said in regards to partners. Office in Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods, led by Paul Callahan, and Rayvon and the whole team, Connie, one of our beautiful survivors over there, and the whole team. They work consistently as it relates to families and children to do what the mayor asked all of us to do, to try to minimize the impact of what's going on in such an ugly way. Percy Miller understands that clearly. He comes from the Callio projects out of New Orleans. He lost a brother to a homicide. He's lost other family members to violent crime issues, but he stayed consistent as it relates to at least trying to give hope through the whole idea of touching a kid and touching a family in a meaningful way. And equally, lastly, our friends from the other collaborative efforts. We've got Brianna Coleman here. She's the executive director of Future Healers. Want to acknowledge Brianna Coleman. She's a medical student. She's going to be a doctor soon, but she's with the other individuals from the Dr. J. David Richardson Trauma Center that's here, that's been partners with Master P. You all will hear from trauma surgeon Keith Miller here in a few minutes as it relates to what he would like to share on behalf of the healthcare community, especially U of L. And equally at the same time, the 2X Game Changer board members. Appreciate y'all so much for the support as it relates to me and the efforts that we try to put forth. And there's so many others, like Mayor was mentioning Bishop Lyons, and equally Dr. Stephen Kelsey. These two people have been on the forefront in many ways in touching lives in so many ways as it relates to families and children. Thank you all for you all's wonderful work. But at the end of the day, I know by being around Master P for 12 years and working on projects, it's what dear to his heart, and he'll speak to that here in a few minutes once the mayor presents him the key to the city. He'll tell you about why kids are special to him. And all I can tell you is, brother, that we appreciate you so much. But this is just some of the acknowledgments, we'd like to give to you. And I want you all to think of one thing, and he might get it on me after we leave here for saying this, but I got to say it. He's a 5-time Grammy Award winner. He won American Music Award. He won a Source Award. He won a special BT Award. Think about that. He doesn't have to sacrifice his time in Louisville and other spaces around the United States, but he cares about kids and he stays humble, and he tells his own kids the same thing, that regardless of the fortunate position they've been put in, you got to stay humble. And that's the only reason I can see he comes consistently back to try to help us when he can. And at the end of the day, Master P, or I call affectionately Colonel, we can't thank you enough for your sacrifice for all of us in this city, especially the families you've touched. And the next person I'd like to bring up is my good friend, University of Louisville trauma surgeon from the Department of Surgery, and equally one of our partners in the Future Healers program, Dr. Keith Miller, MD. Thanks a lot.
All right. So, it sounds like the beginning of a bad joke. You've got an educator, a mayor, an entertainment mogul, a grassroots instrument of change, and a surgeon. But it's not the beginning of a bad joke. It's a testament to the man that we're talking about and celebrating today, because he's got an energy and a charisma that's magnetic, that brings people together. And that's one of the reasons we're talking about him today. So you're probably wondering why a surgeon's up here, and I'll try to make it brief and get to the point. Fortunately today, acts of kindness and compassion happen every second of every day. Sometimes it doesn't feel like that, given that we oftentimes feel like we're surrounded by negativity. But they happen every day. And occasionally something special comes out of that when there are special pieces involved in one of those acts. In this case, what we're talking about today, those special ingredients are a special city, City of Louisville, and a special person, Master P. I call him Dr. P, by the way. He does have a doctorate from Lincoln University, so he's actually the Dr. Miller. I'm just a Dr. Miller. But we talk about the connection between these two special things. The story's well documented. Mayor Fischer already talked about it. When Hurricane Katrina, the city of Louisville did the right thing, did the compassionate thing, and provided safe haven for many families, including the Miller family. And out of that act, Master P developed a connection with our city, and that's a connection and a debt that he has repaid over and over and over again through the last 2 decades, and we're very thankful for that. Even through my little window in the hospital, I can attest firsthand to the authenticity and enthusiasm that he brings, particularly to the young people of Louisville. For those of you that don't know, the Future Healers program was developed and created to work with children like Malachi, ages 4 to 13, that have been directly impacted by violence in our city, gun violence in our city in particular. Kids spend time with medical students like Brianna, Stephanie, and Kim here with the Trauma Institute. They spend time with healthcare providers and surgeons, talking about taking care of themselves and taking care of each other. But at some point, as you can imagine, doctors become boring. Not so much the medical students, but surgeons, we're probably the most boring of all. And so when somebody like Master P comes in and emphasizes the importance of self-care, of taking care of each other, I can't tell you the impact and the rejuvenation that brings to a program like Future Healers. And for that alone, I'm extremely thankful. The kids have experienced him as Santa Claus, bringing holiday gifts. They've experienced something I never thought would happen. We had a Hollywood premiere at University Hospital. I'm not sure that's probably happened at many hospitals anywhere in the country, and it was awesome. So he's done that, but most importantly, he gives what we've all got to give, but few of us do, which is our time. And he does it without expectation for return. When I see him interact with the kids, I see the true person that he is, and the man that is well deserving of this honor today. So today we're acknowledging the coming together of these two special entities, City of Louisville, Dr. Miller. And I, like so many, have come into contact through his work and better off knowing him, and I'm thankful for all he's done for our community, and particularly for the young people of our city. So thank you, Dr. Miller, for who you are and making all of us better than we were.
Thank you. Thank you. Bring up the Next, I'm going to bring up Kalita Reeves from the Chestnut Street YMCA, but just before I do that, Kalita can speak to what we did a few weeks ago in regards to Master P announcing a special book that he and somebody he mentored that you all know about, that's a worldwide notable entertainer, and that's Snoop Dogg, in creating what is going to be wonderful, Malachi's Adventures book. And who is Malachi Roberts? He's to my right, you all's left, with Master P and Dr. Keith Miller. In December 2020, at 5 years old, he was the unfortunate recipient with his mother to be hit by a stray bullet. And he miraculously survived that shooting, but he's the first gunshot wound survivor I met in 21 years of my public work that went permanently blind. But here's why Master P seen the special connection to him, and Kalita can speak to this too, and all of us can who knows Malachi, that he's not a person, as young as he is, that cries sour grapes because of what happened to him. There's video surfacing. If you all want to go to Master P's Instagram, look at Malachi riding a bike blind. Look at Malachi and some of the things his mother, Casey Roberts, has put on her social media about him being the highest in his class in mathematics. This kid is a phenomenal individual. And now we're going to bring Kalita Reeves up to talk more about that special moment at the Chestnut Street YMCA, and many special moments as it relates to Percy, Robert Miller, Master P interacting with the kids in that space in the Russell neighborhood in West Louisville. Kalita Reeves, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Master P is a true example and a picture of sharing is caring. That is what he brings to the Chestnut Street YMCA. That's what we're teaching the children. And they know if they don't learn anything else at all, they know sharing is actually caring. So on behalf of the Chestnut Street YMCA, we want to thank you for everything that you've done and your continued support throughout the Louisville community. What he brings to us is fun, talent, and music. So they look forward to when Master P comes on site that it's going to be fun and it's going to be exciting, as well as the parents in themselves. What we take from that is that we can learn to give back to our communities. Never be afraid, never be ashamed, and always to teach one another about the things that we learn. So again, we just want to thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Fischer? Yeah. Mayor Fischer is going to present the keys to the city. Thanks.
Okay. Let's hear it for Malachi here for being a model for all of us. Well, Master P, I would think the reason why you do things that you do is because you feel like we're all put on the face of the earth to make a difference and to help people out. It's not about how much money you have or how many Grammys you won or any of that type of thing. You know, we had a great colleague and hero here in Louisville with Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
20th century Sports Illustrated Athlete of the Century. And if you got to know Muhammad, he got all that fame, he did all that work for one simple reason. He wanted to help people. And that platform provided him to help untold people. Master P was driving him to be better every day, whether it be music or raising his kids. Same thing. How can he help other people? And there's no payment for that. But as a city, we want to say thank you for selecting our city, for paying us back, for how we've helped your family. And it's just a virtuous circle where people can keep helping each other. And the more that we all do that, the better this world is going to be. So on behalf of a grateful city, we give you a key to the city of Louisville and to express our appreciation for your great work. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's step over here for a picture. Chris, you want to come up here?
Yeah, that'd be fine. And now we're going to hear from Master P. All right.
First of all, I just want to thank the city of Louisville for acknowledging me. And like I said, this is not about awards. This is something I love doing. I love the city of Louisville. This city was here for me and my family at a time of need. And I promise to Christopher 2X that I'm going to be here for the kids in this community. And it's been over 12 years. Time is keep going and keep ticking. We're going to keep getting better. We all work in progress. This is my second home, and we dealt with a lot of traumas. We dealt with a lot of negativity, but we also dealt with a lot of smiles and laughs and joy that comes through the city. It's a lot of great people here, so we want to start recognizing them instead of all the negativity. Even when you talk about Louisville basketball, it's a work in progress. Same thing like the city. And I know we're all stronger together, and that's what this is about. We're not going to stop. This is just the beginning. And like Christopher 2X said, it's all about consistency. And it's also about keeping your word and having integrity. And so Louisville kept their word with me and my family, and I'm always keep my word with the city. So thank you, guys. I appreciate this, Mayor. And the only way we overcome hate is with love. And our most focus is when I get up in the morning, I say, who am I? I get up knowing that my main job is to be a servant. It's not about what you have, it's about what you give and what you do with what you have. I know God has blessed me and my family, and I'm continuing blessing other families. And I know our job now is about creating leaders. It's all about leadership, education. And so the way we get rid of crime and poverty, we need to educate the people in the community. So we're going to constantly keep doing that. It's all about saving the kids. It's all about the next generation. This is our future. And this is only the beginning. So I challenge every other business person out here to join this movement with us to make a difference. So that's what this is about. Thank you, guys.
One last time. So those of you all want photos, I'm going to stand down there and just line up behind me and come up and get him so we can get him out here because he wants to go to Louisville live tonight to see his son Hersey. And one last thing on Hersey. He didn't waste one iota of a minute working hard in the summer. Once he joined the University of Louisville basketball team, he instantly connected to the zoo's director and assistant director, Dan Maloney, and Stephen Taylor, to be a part of the Future Healers Got Zoo Bodies program. And he told them that this is what I want to do. I always had this dream, this vision of helping kids in the animal kingdom environment. And Dan and Steve, we can't thank you enough in behalf of what you all do for Metro government, because you're part of it, but what you have did for Percy Miller has been just tremendous. And they were asking me today, when is our next Zoo Buddies? And we told them, y'all got Louisville Live, y'all won't be at the next one. But it's just a testimony to how he's followed his father when his father first brought him and his other brother, who Louisville wants real bad, Percy Miller. But that's a couple years off. But yes, he's a 5-star. But the bottom line is they came here when they were around 7, 8 years old. And they watched their father, and they are continuing in their father's footsteps as it relates to giving back to the community. And we can't thank you enough for being a great father for so many kids, and especially your own. So thanks a lot, Mayor. You're the best, and we appreciate everything. I'm going to stand down here, and y'all can come up and get pictures with the mayor and Master
One last
P.
thing. You know, this is about Master P here today, but Chris and his entrepreneurship of helping people over 2 decades now, almost a quarter century in our city. We recognized him last year at the Bell Awards with the Spirit of Louisville Award, which is the highest award given to a compassionate person that is helping in so many different ways. So, Master P, we love you, and we've been loving this man even more. So let's hear it for Chris, too. How
You
about that,
got it.
okay?
Thanks a lot. Okay, anybody want to?